Howdy, folks. Papa Joe here again. I want to talk to you a little bit about your relationship with your church. And I told you before, in my opinion, that the church is the people. It's not that building, it's the people. And the good book, I think it was Paul in there that told us that we needed to be with like-minded folks, to break bread, to visit, to worship, to fellowship. Then you get the man version of it. Anytime that you put man into it, he messes stuff up. I mean, that's just honest truth. I'm sorry. When you get into your walk with the Lord and you're doing good, you're making progress, the Lord's working on you, you're happy. I remember well, you get hungry for the Word. You get hungry for the knowledge to get to know God. And that's when you got to really be on guard. The old devil will jump in there and he'll start throwing a monkey in the wrench, or wrench in the monkey works, or however they used to say that. But he'll start trying to mess it up. He's going to try to get between you and God. The earth, and the Bible tells us somewhere, I don't remember where, the earth is the devil's kingdom. Lord's kingdom's heaven. Well, we say up. Well, it says Jesus has come down out of the clouds, so I guess heaven is up. But you was his for so long. I was his for a long time. I'm not going to tell all the bad stuff I've done. Well, I ain't giving the devil the glory. But I've not always been as I am today. And when I turned my life over to Jesus and started trying to do accordingly to his will, the old devil threw a lot of wrenches in there. Now, one of them, which was what I was thinking about today when I wanted to make this, I was going to a nice little church in Georgia. Wound up going there over a dadgum hot dog. The Sunday school had divided into teams and they had a contest going. They was going to have a barbecue. The winner got to eat pork steaks and the losers had to eat hot dogs. One of my best friends, well, he was my best friend, he was going to that church. And he bugged me to go. Bugged me so bad it aggravated me. I finally went just to shut him up. And that's how I got turned on to God, was through that little bitty old country church. Well, I was doing pretty good, hungry for the Word, learning, very eager. The church was growing. I'm trying to pay my tithes to a point that it was painful paying them tithes. I mean, you know, we was on a tight budget anyway. But the church was growing and doing some stuff with the money, the church money, that I didn't like. I didn't agree with it. I didn't like seeing my money go towards it. I let that come between me and the church, and I quit going for a couple months. I don't know, 2 or 3 months, however long. And I got talking to a chaplain friend of mine out in New Mexico. We was having a phone call, and he had encouraging me on my walk. Well, he started telling me a couple things. Well, one, he started explaining to me, he said, you know, is it really bothering you that much, or is it just the old devil trying to get between you and God? Is he trying to keep one of his? Food for thought. He said, secondly, he says, if it's your tithes and you're giving it to the church, he said, it ain't your money. That's God's money. So it's up to the church what they do with God's money. Food for thought. He told me thirdly, and this is over the course of he didn't just come right out and point all this out point blank. He said, he says, this is the only thing I've heard you complain about with that church. I said, right. He said, well, he says, you're not going to find a perfect church on earth. So you have to decide what you can deal with. Now, can you deal with what they're doing? Or is that just the deal breaker where you can't go back to that church? And I like the people. I mean, some of the best people you ever met. Food for thought. So, I'll let that work on me a little bit. I started going back to that church. He had also told me, which I forgot to say, he had also told me, he says, he says, your tithes, as long as you're giving them to God's work, you can put them where you want. He says, if it bothers you what that church is doing so bad, don't give your tithes to that church. Find another way. There's plenty of Christian organizations and do good places, and give it somewhere out there. Food for thought. So me and my wife talked about it, and I hashed it over. I thought about it. You got a lot of time to think out here in these trucks. Long story short, I decided that the majority of the people wanted what the church was doing. Who am I to stand in the way? I am a true American, and we do have a electoral system, and the majority wins. That's how it works out here. It don't work in politics like that, but I ain't going there. But me and the wife started going, and not only did we give our tithes, we was giving extra, because they had different little funds, a chair fund and a this fund and a that fund. Trying to build a new church is what they was doing. So not only did we go back, and no hard feelings from no one, and it ain't like we'd went off on people and bad mouthing them and blah blah. No, we didn't do all that. We just quit going. We started going back, welcomed back with open arms. Where you been? Love seeing you. Good to have you back. We started giving a little bit more. So that didn't work for the old devil. He tried. It was a good try. It almost worked. But the good Lord had put some people in my mind, in my life, and that reached down and smacked me a little bit and said, hey, think about this, dummy. So it was all good. I have found other places in my walk where the old devil tries to get in there. He'll throw a bone in the mix. You got to wear the full armor. I never understood that. I've read it, and I've had it preached at me. Never understood the full armor. But you got to wear the full armor of the Lord. Because I tell you what, you let your guard down, old devil's going to slide in there. Remember, he knows your weak spots. He knows you better than you know you. He knows your vices better than you know you. Matter of fact, I just heard on the radio today, I was listening to the FM, some preaching this morning. Old boy was telling about a guy in his church. Good Christian man. Been upstanding Christian man for years. And they had been having a conversation. A little group of them had like a dinner or whatever, and the old boy made the statement. He says, yes, I'm parked by a train. I can sleep through this tonight. You gotta bear with it. I gotta bear with it. But he said, Old boy made the comment. He says, one thing that I'll never do, you ain't got to worry about it, is I'll never have an affair. The adultery's out, forget it. It wasn't but a year later and he was having an affair. The way the preacher explained it, which makes sense to me, is the man had his guard up against the devil on a lot of stuff. But on that part, he was so confident, he was overconfident, he let his guard down. And the old devil snuck right in there, smack. So, you got to keep your guard up all the time. The old devil, he's always watching. Always looking for that weak spot. Always looking for that way to slide in there. So, be careful. If you found a church and you like the church and you're starting to get these little feelings that I just kind of ain't liking this, that, or did you do this? Do you see so-and-so? Do you see what she was wearing? Did you hear what the preacher was saying? When you start hearing and saying those things, that's old devil working on you. He's trying to slide in there. So, like my buddy told me, think about it. You ain't gonna find the perfect church. Can you live with these little things that you think are bothering you, and are they really bothering you? Are they really that important? Remember, the ultimate goal is to go home. So think about it, folks. Would you rather go to church with some hypocrites, or would you rather go to hell with everyone? So don't let that be the thing. No devil, he'll get in your head. He'll get in your head bad. He'll make mounds out of molehills. Alright, folks, remember, ultimate goal, go home to glory, to be with our Savior and our Father. Down here is nothing but a testing ground. I hope you learned something out of this. I hope you got something out of it. God bless you. Have a good evening.